Greetings to everyone watching this video. Myself Abhinav Santosh from Mawadi University. I am pursuing the degree of physiotherapy, and today I will be discussing about the physiological effects of UVR from electrotherapy. The ultraviolet bands. UVR covers the electromagnetic spectrum between visible light and X-rays. In electrotherapy, it is subdivided into therapeutic bands, the UVA, UVB and UVC. UVA, which penetrates deepest into the dermal layers, while UVB, most chemically active, causes erythema, and the final UVC, primarily germicidal and absorbed superficially. The biophysical nature. Unlike thermal modalities, UVR initiates photochemical reactions rather than cellular heating. The short wavelengths transmit high energy photons, which are directly absorbed by skin molecular targets. This initiates chemical changes at molecular levels, highly absorbed by DNA, RNA, and proteins, generates reactive oxygen subspecies in cells. The mechanism of absorption. When UVR hits the skin, photons are absorbed at highly superficial depths. Energy is absorbed primarily within 0.2 to 0.22 mm of skin tissues targeting epidermal cellular elements. The localized absorption induces structural damage to cell proteins, DNA, and RNA, promoting immediate cellular repair and defense cascades. The erythema and triple response. Cellular destruction. Erythema is the primary observable reaction to UVR. Cellular damage triggers a release of H substance, histamine-like chemicals, from the epidermis and superficial dermis. In this, the chemical release is proportional to dosage, acts as a controlled therapeutic inflammatory response, promotes vasodilation to clear local toxins. Moving on to the triple response, the liberated H substance stimulates three distinct physiological microvascular reactions in tissue, which are the local capillary dilation, arteriolar dilation, and the final fluid exudation. The pigmentation and tanning. Melanin stimulation. UVR accelerates the metabolic production of melanin within cutaneous melanocytes situated in the basal layer of the skin. The migration process. Produced melanin migrates to the superficial layer of the epidermis, creating a darkening effect that typically peaks within 2 days of therapy. Natural filtration. The primary physiological role of pigmentation is protective. It acts as a filter that absorbs and scatters future UVB radiation, limiting cell damage in deeper layers. The epidermal thickening, hyperplasia and peeling. In response to acute cell irritation, the basal layer of the epidermis undergo rapid reactive proliferation. Within 72 hours, the spectrum conveys can grow up to 3 times its normal thickness. Desquamation, which is the peeling. The accelerated cellular turnover forces dead cells to cast off. When desquamation occurs, the temporary resistance of the skin to UVR drops significantly, which dictates adjustments in cumulative clinical dosages. The vitamin D synthesizes UVB absorption, chemical pathway, and systemic actions. Moving further to the antibiotic and healing action. Bacterial and virucidal efficiency, which includes UVB and UVC wavelengths, which would disrupt microbial replication. Granulation tissue stimulation, comedone clearance. In acne vulgaris, induced peeling clears the follicular plugs, promoting free drainage of sebum, while antibacterial actions reduces local propionibacterium acnes populations. Furthermore, you have the chart of erythema dosage tiers. And moving further with the clinical applications. The clinical indications of UVR are the UV electrotherapy is highly indicated for several localized skin diseases and superficial repair deficiencies. This include psoriasis, acne vulgaris, chronic skin wounds, and vitiligo, etc. The major contraindications includes systemic lupus erythematosus, photoallergic and photosensitivity, dermatitis and eczema, active carcinoma, etc. Thank you and have a nice day.